Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bo. I'm 31 years old and I live in Seattle, Washington. And I am on a journey to reaching $1 million net worth by the time I am retirement age. So if you're into that, please stick around and I will get right into the video. Today, I actually wanted to bring to you some of the worst financial advice I had ever been given, because I don't know if it's just a me thing, but when you are on a journey and people know that you're trying to work towards a specific goal, they become an expert. And so with the 8 years that I've been working towards Coast Fire and all of the other goals that I have in the future for myself, I have gotten some key advice that some of which you just know is a bad idea. And I thought I would share them with you because, with the highs and the lows that come with this journey, there's also some parts where it's just like, I have to share this with someone. And so that's what I'm going to do with you guys today. There are a plethora of bad money and finance advice that I have been given, but I picked out 5 of them, 5 of the ones that were the most audacious, the most outrageous, and some of which made me even a little annoyed and mad. So without further ado, let's start with number 1, which was, don't wait to be debt-free in order to do insert life event. Marriage, babies, moving, buying a house, all of these things me and my husband put off to the side while we were working to be debt-free. And as you can tell, we just became debt-free last year. So on the way to being debt-free, when you are getting older and you're with a partner, you're asked questions. When are you getting married? When are you having babies? When are you buying a house? All of these things. And a lot of those questions were met with, once we pay off our debt. And that's never a good enough answer when people just want to watch you have and take the natural progression of steps in your life. And so this is one of the most annoying pieces of advice that I've been given, mainly because it's the one that I am given the most. I'm told things like, well, everybody has debt, so you might as well do this too. I was told you're going to waste your life away. You might as well do it now. I was told you're never going to get out of debt anyway, so just do it. It's so annoying. And now that we're debt free, crickets, nothing, no congratulations. No, I know you could do it. Nothing. It's as if it never happened. So not necessarily needing the affirmation, but I just wish sometimes that people would be more mindful of how they're making people feel when they project certain milestones and goals and timelines onto others. Number 2, when it comes to paying off debt, when you have a windfall of money, I was told, don't avalanche the debt, split it evenly between 2 different loans. And at this point in my life, I was trying to get rid of my private student loan, which was significantly smaller than my public one. I think there was about $15,000 left and I had around $9,000 to throw. And my other loan was around $60,000. And I remember telling 2 friends, like, oh my gosh, I have this windfall. I'm going to throw it at my private loan. It's 12% interest. It's variable and it was going up a lot. It was around 2018 when I paid off that loan. So interest rates were going up. And one of my friends was like, oh, that's a great idea. The other one was like, no, I think you should split half, $4,500 towards the $15,000 loan and $4,500 towards the $60,000 loan. That's 5% APR. And I just remember being like, why would I throw $4,000 at 60 grand and then take more time to pay off this $15,000 12% loan so that the interest on the other one can the $4,000 up? What would even make that seem like progress, right? Obviously, I'm not going to argue with people because I brought it on myself by bringing it up. And so, times like these, you do what you set out to do, right? You hear what people have to say, you take them into consideration, and you do what you have to do. But for the future, if anyone ever tells you don't throw your lump sum of money towards a high interest debt, but split it evenly between many debts of variable interests, throw it at the high interest debt. Get rid of that high interest debt. If it's making more of a gain than the S&P 500 average, throw money at that debt. Do not let people sabotage you. That is clear sabotage. Number 3, I highly suggest that you buy at least 1 car. I was told this when I was making a move from Denver to Seattle. As you guys may know, I lived in Chicago proper for about 10 years. years. And then I lived in Denver proper. And by proper, I mean downtown. Public transportation. I make sure that my jobs are a bus ride away if necessary. And then after my Denver stay, I moved to Seattle, and I live in Seattle proper. Bus stations in the city, not the suburbs, in the city. Why would I buy a car? Just for some context, in my apartment, parking alone is $300 a month. And for those who aren't familiar with the state of Seattle right now too, you have to be really careful with property. There's a lot of property crime, a lot of vandalism, theft, things like that you just really need to watch out for. So, and another thing that really makes it nonsensical is that both me and my husband work from home. We don't need a car. We don't need at least one car, especially when, again, at this time, we're not debt free. We're making this move for money opportunities in order to find better work. But why would you buy a car immediately when you're trying to build up your funds? You're moving. What makes you think I'm going to have extra cash to buy a car? At least one car. I just felt like it was outrageous, and so I had to add that to it. But let me know what you guys think. To me, I think it's nonsensical because 1, we live in Seattle proper. 2, we work from home. And 3, our costs are relatively low, and I think we still have some room for taking advantage of that fact. But let me know in the comments, if you guys moved to a place like Seattle and you felt the need, would you buy a car? To each their own. Number 4, the number 4 most nonsensical thing that I have been told on my financial journey is when my husband, he used to have a car when we were in Chicago. It was breaking down, and he decided to return that car to his dad because it was a gift. It was a graduation gift. He returned it to his dad so his dad could recycle it or donate it. I think that's what you do with old cars. It was a beater because it was breaking down a lot. It would, stop in the middle of the street during turns in Chicago on the way to work. The maintenance was it was becoming semi-weekly, monthly maintenance to where the last maintenance that we ended up paying was about $1,200. So we went half on that. And I remember just being so mad because that's a check. Like, we were making $2,500 every month at our jobs. And so $1,200 is a big loss. And so eventually, my husband was like, let's get rid of this car and start riding our bikes to work. Now, my bike to work was 11 minutes, no problem. Tell me why, when he tried to give the car back to his dad, he was told, not by his dad, but he was told, just buy a new car. Mind you, the person who told him this is a doctor. Buy me a car. Pay for the registration, the sticker, the parking. And if you're not familiar with Chicago, it has an amazing transit system. Again, we lived in Chicago proper. We lived in Lakeview. Buses, trains, amazing. Walkability, 9.5 out of 10. Why would we buy a new car making $30,000 each net? That is insane. And number five, the most annoying thing that I've been told actually pretty recently was from a life insurance seller when my dad had set me up to be his power of attorney. He fell into the whole life insurance trap. And so I had to be on a call in order to know how to handle his affairs should I need to. And this was told to me by one of the sales reps, but it's actually been told to me by someone else as well. And that's to buy whole life insurance so that you can take loans from yourself and you only owe yourself. It just doesn't sound right to me. Like, there has to be a catch. Who am I actually needing to pay that from? Because who am I paying premiums to? That's who I have to take the money from. That's who I'm paying back, not myself. If I own a life insurance policy, then I have to fund that life insurance policy. It doesn't even sound right. And I will admit that I don't have the biggest understanding of life insurance or of insurance in general, but that's why I proudly am insured through my employer, because I don't know how it works. So to tell me to just buy it, it's like, for the sales rep, obviously you have a vested interest in me buying whole life insurance. I just had to politely tell the guy, I'm here to listen for my dad. Please stick to the program, okay? I'm not buying from you. I don't even want him to have this. Once I let him know that I wasn't even keen on my dad having it, obviously he let it go. But here's why I don't think that whole life insurance is the most viable option for someone in my position. Like I already said, I already have insurance through work. I don't need whole life as well. My work gives pretty good insurance. It gives life insurance for me and my husband, health insurance for me and my husband, accidental death or dismemberment, hospital, is it indemnity? So if you're in a long hospital stay, it even has, emergency room, minimum and major life risk, cancer, stuff like that, insurance, I don't need whole life. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $500 a month for that. And also, if needed to borrow, I don't borrow. I'm not borrowing. And if I do need to, then I will go the traditional route of going to a bank, because that's just the route that I'm familiar with. And I'm not open to learning new things on the spot because it's convenient for others. So those are the 5 things that I was told, my worst financial advice that I was ever given in my life. And I have so many more that we can probably talk about in a live video later on. Let me know in the comments some of the worst financial advice you've ever been given in your life. I want to talk about that with you in the comments below. So please let me know, and I will see you in the next video.